That's the right answer.
I don't care, dude.
Hey neighbors, the Handyman here with Initiative Coffee Company, and we are back for this week's episode of In the Red, wherein our heroes ignore the debts they owe and just go about doing whatever they were gonna fucking do in the first place.
I'd like to point
last
out,
time,
I have earned a lot of money for this party after you all just squandered it.
Hold on.
Yeah?
I want to finish the current situation we're in before
Okay.
I
all right.
address the point that we are about to get about that.
Spit, what happened last time on In the Red? I don't remember. I literally
Nothing
don't
great. Nothing great happened.
There
How about,
were tongues everywhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the tongues.
How could you forget about the tongues? There's a
It's-
whale tongue.
That's disappointing. That was inspired, Linux.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
good. That was good DMing there.
It was great. But yeah, I scooped up a whole bunch of tongues. I took them away from Marcy's, Macy's and Gerald's, and then moved them over to Jeffrey so that we can potentially get some good tongue sandwiches put up. And I may have also taken a map.
stolen a map.
Borrowed a map.
And you didn't tell any of us, you didn't tell anyone else that you had done it, so your friendly
So your friends are selling you out currently without
Literally.
knowing.
I
Yeah.
just got 1,000 gold to find out that you are
A thief.
yes. Well, I mean you literally are.
Surprise!
Yeah.
It's on my character sheet!
Wow. Okay. Well, JD, now your mic is a little hot.
That's
Yeah,
so
well, I
hot.
also yelled into it, but yes.
Yeah, don't do that.
I won't yell.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Did you catch the game last night?
You like lasagna? Let's just do this for the next 2 hours.
It's my
Oh,
favorite.
right?
Good, yeah.
I don't feel great about that. Anyway, yeah. So y'all are going into Jeffrey's sandwich shop as a beam
culinary
of
experience.
indicative yellow light points directly at Spit and bounces over his head. And the dwarves
So-
look sad.
So since we saw them do this, I'm assuming it implies that all of it, like all of the druids plus all of us, were just like watching this arrow and
Yeah.
following it
Just going, like,
quizzically.
Presumably in disbelief, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and I feel like I would have opened the door first because like I just sold this spell.
right. And you're like,
And
this
I'm
is
like-
weird. Why is it going
like-
into our shop? Let's
Like,
find
wow,
out.
it's going directly towards the. It shouldn't have locked on that soon. Oh, it's going directly towards the shop, and then I see it like bouncing over you, and I imagine Spit that you're just totally unaware that this is happening. You're like facing the other direction. You're picking your nose. Or
Oh,
something.
no,
And
I
it's like
tell
bouncing.
I tell Veruca, thank you so much for turning on the light. It's really gonna help sorting out these tongues.
Veruca looks at you. She goes, "That's not. I didn't. It's not a. There's an arrow, that's come to join you."
Oh,
And I
Oh.
give you one of those you looks.
And you hear 4 simultaneous harumphs
harums.
from 3 dwarves and a minotaur.
Oh, I turn over and I'm like, hey everyone, do you guys want some sandwiches? I can help Veruca like put together some for you if you want.
Well, it says I just want my maps. I don't.
Yeah, I thought you were looking for a map, not a little kobold.
Well,
Oh,
This
This
is
is-
pointing to a kobold.
well.
This entire time I've been kind of like maneuvering myself so there's no one between me and the closest exit because I would like to keep the money.
They say
I'm
we don't.
I don't think it worked. Do you have another one? We should try it again.
He pulls out the other one that he bought.
no, it's okay.
He bought 2.
Yeah,
the fail safe of the other one not working.
Says, we came here hoping to do honest work for conduct honest business with you folks. But if you're just gonna
I mean,
steal from potential partners, I don't know. I don't know if
steal?
it's well.
I mean, I look at the arrow and it's pointing at the bucket of tongue.
Oh,
This?
Mm-hmm. The Minotaur like walks over and just like flips over the bucket of tongues, and out fall these
Ew.
maps. It's like,
Oh!
Oh, it wasn't pointing.
I must have
at
swept these.
all.
I must have swept these up when I was trying to clean up all of the tongues and whatnot that fell out inside Macy's place. I hope that they're still okay. I like spread them out and whatnot. Because I imagine they're moist.
Yeah, probably.
Because of tongues.
Ugh.
Because of tongues. Yes, I word choice was particular on that. And I mean, my ear fins are like folded and whatnot, like trying to help and just spread these out. I'm like, there was definitely a big mess over at Macy's. And as I'm like trying to lay all these out, I'm like, potential partner and whatnot for what? And like, I'm still trying to like, I'm now using one of the larger tongues to fan the sheets now. It's probably not working. They're probably still moist. I should probably get something else.
Dwell just walks over and grabs them, and he says, "We had hoped to build a partnership with you and open up some minds, but I guess you're not honest folks. So we, I guess we'll try to find some other partners to start production in Goldholm again."
What makes you say that?
Honest, I was just trying to help clean up and everything.
Make a deception check.
My eyes are dilated too.
I don't entirely remember at this point. While this is going on, like a few, like 2 months ago, when we talked with, when we got here, and I set up like trade relations with to harvest lumber. Was that organization? Do they have anything to do with mining?
No.
Okay.
In fact, a member of our community upped their donations and created NPCs to provide mining services to the party. But you have taken some strong steps here that that undermine the utility of that dwarven mining company.
And my roll was a 16. I don't know if I should.
Yeah, you do not deceive him.
Yeah. Okay.
So walking in from the commotion, because I think it was outside still, making our way back from the gate. I know, Coop, you were already there chatting with them. So, gentlemen, sorry about the commotion. But you were talking about possibly a partnership for mining up at Goldholm. Yeah, we have somebody that's after us right now, so we are kind of always on edge, especially when people are trying to track us down and things of that nature. So do apologize for my friend over here if he had taken your maps.
Is this a regular thing you guys do?
Get tracked down,
Steal
yes.
from people?
Oh,
Not me.
No.
Not usually.
if anything, we've been giving back to this entire town to help restore it to where it was, and unfortunately, there was you know what? We made a misstep, and there's no other excuses about it. That's all.
Remind me how the tongues happened.
From a scroll.
The scroll of tongues.
Oh, because we. Oh.
Because Spit wanted to know how to read the maps. and then all of a sudden, tongues everywhere.
So, gentlemen, I think. All right. Can we have a homina homina? Is it too early for a homina homina?
No. You can have a homina homina
in front of them.
Man, I'm gonna start charging you guys for these homina homina moments.
Right? that actually would be a good redeem.
Don't give them ideas. What?
All right. Then never mind.
No. I was talking to.
Oh, no, we're having a homina homina.
We're having a
the homina homina. How do we actually want to try and save face for these people, or do we want to try and bullshit our way out of this?
Why don't we just be honest with them?
Well, I was going to tell the story about how it got, as far as Enix is concerned, that map legitimately did get wiped away, like brushed into Spit's basket, because this ridiculous nonsense scroll happened, and then. Oh, but I just sold them a scroll that I know is fake.
And Spit was the
you
one
sold
that,
it with a specific intent.
And yes. Spit was the one that used that ridiculous nonsense.
I am the one that used it. Yes.
Yeah. And then I profited off selling a ridiculous. Okay, homina over. I would like to not try and lie ourselves into a deeper pit.
I guess Dwell and the rest. They haven't identified themselves, and like Dwell and Co. We're going to continue doing what we've been doing thus far. We're going to keep on trying to bring safety back to the region. Unfortunately, things like this have happened, and we are concerned about what has happened. We are very much on edge. Mm-hmm. It doesn't excuse the actions that have occurred, but, if there's ever a place that we could make up for this, I think we would all, and I look at everybody and go, I would think I could say for everyone here that we would do our best to make up for this.
Yeah, Spit shrugs his shoulders. He's definitely very ashamed and guilty. But I ask, as we ask of many people, is there anything that you may need help with, especially given your brief stay here in Winds Hollow?
No. Now that we've found our maps and charts, we've got everything we need. I was instructed to come and set up a trade mission, so despite my best judgment, perhaps there is a working relationship that is still salvageable. Perhaps you can provide some insight as to why you felt the need to pilfer the property of the Citadel of Unter.
Some of those words I don't recognize, but I'm happy to take a stab at it. And it's going to sound really ironic now that I think about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. So earlier, with the presence of the carnival, Mayor Ornath got word of folks having seen things go missing while we were gone. And so we struck on an investigation to go and see if we could see if there were any suspicious activity and such. And then when the storm was happening, it seems that the mayor had lost another important item of his own, that he himself was the target of such thievery as well, and let us know about that. Yeah. That's much better. 22.
Upon recollection, you assume that it was stolen before the storm, and he noticed it.
Oh, yes, thank you. But after the windy storm that affected the carnival, Mayor Ornath let us know that at some point something of value of his had gone missing too, and that we should heighten our awareness of things that may look out of place. And to be honest, despite our group's repeated attempts to connect with you, especially if we ended up being a potential target for partnership, you guys seemed a little bit cagey, and and very protective, and I understand rightfully so. But there's a belief that potentially the papers that you had may have had information that would help us out inside the investigation.
Well, I suppose you're welcome to look at our papers now. And he kind of folds them out on the table, and it looks to be an underground tunnel system. And he says we are pretty protective of these documents because they have secret ways into Unter that could be detrimental to the security of the Citadel.
Is there a reason you stashed them the second every time we came in the room?
For that reason.
Because they have secret passages into the Citadel of Unter.
I've got a different question to ask.
We stash them whenever anyone comes into a room and looks at us investigatorily.
Is there a reason you'd review these in public?
Yeah.
That's why we were trying to be relatively secretive about it. We don't have a private room where we can conduct work here in town.
Oh, do you want one of those?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I look up at Veruca. I don't know how many tongues she's holding right now. But I ask her, I'm like, do you know if Baron's around? If there's space that's available?
She says we just checked the closet, and somehow the closet turned into a hallway. I don't know. We didn't check the back of the closet, and there was like a false wall there, and in the back of the closet was a hallway that had 3 rooms, which is odd to me. But he says it's normal. Doesn't seem normal. But he seems to think that it's par for the course.
Are you sure it wasn't part of like Baron's construction project that added a second story?
No, that was just the barn. This is in the shop here.
Upstairs.
I do like the idea that there's random additions to the house.
So I like hop up on my feet. I scamper over. I'm like, how would you like to be the first people ever to come see? Well, I guess after Veruca and Baron, but to come see this special hallway.
Twelve kind of looks at you and he goes, "That sounds awful. I don't want to be the first person to do anything. That's how did these rooms appeared? A hallway was conjured? From where? How? From what? That seems dangerous."
I mean, I'll go in first if you want.
All right, that's fine then.
Yeah. So, Veruca, can you lead us to this hallway?
She says, yeah, and she opens like a door that you distinctly remember being like a mop and broom closet.
Yeah.
And she opens the door, and it's just like, it's not like a wide hallway, but it's like a 5-foot wide hallway that like goes maybe 40 feet back, and you're like, like, you could go outside, and it does not appear that this hallway is reflected in the exterior construction of this building. But yeah. There's 2 doors on the left.
Morty,
one door
can
on the
you
right.
do your thing?
Do we have a sanctuary here in the middle of town because of our miraculous
because of money spent potentially too?
No, this is
that's
a miraculous
right!
thing.
It's a miraculous thing!
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right, another sanctuary. Awesome.
It's not a sanctuary, but...
It's just more rooms.
I guess I'll cast
Yeah, exactly.
I'm kind of indifferent at this point about it. You know, I'm like, whatever.
I go ahead and you said there are 2 rooms on the right and 1 room on the left?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what we're gonna do? Let's go I open door number 1.
It looks like it's empty, but it looks like it could be outfitted to be like a bedroom pretty easily.
The other room, same deal?
The other room on the left is similar. The room on the right is, in fact, a broom and mop closet with a broom and mop inside.
We'll find you some beds. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'll turn to him like, do you have a preference on what your accommodations would help make you feel really comfortable. We've got 2 rooms here. Do you want them potentially both with sleeping accommodations, or would you want to be strictly just a bedroom? It might be a little tighter for everybody, but the other room could be used as an all-purpose working room if you need like space for like
preparing for their journey to Goldhome.
Do these rooms have any exterior windows?
No.
Yeah, they're super private.
How are they lit?
Surprisingly, there's like wall sconces periodically with candles.
Oh.
And there just appears to be like an illumination factor in this room that like seems somehow supernatural. Like it doesn't appear, there's not like natural light necessarily shining in, but it seems like lit.
Natural, yeah.
Do we
like
feel better
light.
just being in the space?
I mean, I don't know. You don't mechanically feel better, no.
Oh, okay.
You don't feel worse, I guess. That's good.
So, what do you say, guys? If you needed a private space to be, I mean, this seems like a pretty good one, and consider it on the house.
This could work, and they kind of like look around and like, it's too much light. We'll have to blow out some of these candles.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. And I go and I like I blow one of the candles out immediately.
Sure.
I feel like you're about to put like I thought you were about to put like a piece of cloth over it, and I was like,
I did correct
do not have an
myself.
insurance agency yet built in this town.
So you blow the candle out and it goes out, and then like you're like, here you go, and it's kind of dimmer, and then like you turn around to walk out and the candle relights, and you're just like, and Dwell says, you know what, we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. But we will need a table and beds.
Yes, certainly.
What time of day is it right now?
Yeah.
The nighttime.
Evening, yeah.
Well, so let's just go get
we
errands.
We can just grab the beds from upstairs and give them to them.
Yeah.
I'll sleep on the floor. It's not a problem.
You can have our beds here.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, fair enough. You've done. You've gone a small way to restore faith and trust in this dwarven company of miners. You see why? As they're kind of like rolling stuff out there, like, you said you investigated these thefts. What did you find out?
Well, for one of the guys, he just kind of put it into a different drawer. So we were ready to tell Mayor Ornath that the people were probably overreacting and thinking that the carnies were kind of seeding discord inside the town. But when Mayor Ornath lost something, we first told him check other places where it might be, because that happened to the other guy. But Mayor Ornath's smarter than the other guy, and he's looked everywhere. So we haven't been successful yet. The only odd thing, actually, we've got a question for you. Morty.
Oh. Yeah.
Last night you saw some activity by the gates, but not through the gates, right?
So the issue we ran into, or the issue that still is not making sense, is there was a 2 individuals that had, they jumped the wall, and it was I want to get the exact what they were. There was like a half elf and a smaller individual, a smaller humanoid and a human, look about 6 feet and change, hopping the wall, and that does not instill great confidence when people are trying not to say things are being stolen or moved, when they could just go out the gates. But instead, they chose to jump the gates. So that is still something that is not fully been.
Well, as you can see, none of us are human.
Yeah.
By no means were we trying to point fingers. Just to make that
Exactly.
clear.
We wanted to know if you happen to, because that's something that came from the investigation. We wanted to know if you might happen to be aware of that kind of thing happening too.
I mean, aside from the obvious, I don't know that anything's been stolen from us. They kind of like
I chop my head again.
They kind of like have their own humana moment, and you see the Minotaur like squat real low, and like whisper in Dwell's ear, and Dwell says, he says he's been hearing some things. People don't assume that Minotaurs are smart, but they're perceptive. I mean, he is.
I believe that. Yeah. They have to find their way around this.
Dwell, or the Minotaur like leans down again and whispers in Dwell's ear again, and he says, "Yeah." He says that's a hurtful stereotype.
Oh no! I'm sorry. That was meant to
You're
be
just
a
going.
compliment.
You're going
Oh,
across
no.
the board right
Not
now.
all Minotaurs live in mazes.
I
am. Labyrinths are very like Minotaurs never chose to live in labyrinths; they were put there. It's a rough history. It's fine. He says he's heard some goings on from folks in town as well as some of them carnival folk. He says there's always 2 or 3 of them not there at those tents. They're always on the move and shuffling.
Speaking of multiple people, not implying anything when I say this, but there's another member of your group,
yeah.
isn't there?
Don't they need a place to stay too?
Well, somebody's got to stay at our campsite.
Why don't you move your campsite here?
Because the stuff at our campsite won't fit here.
Yeah, good point.
Unless it conjures another wing this evening.
I'm tempted.
Wouldn't that have been a private? No, not gonna bring that up.
He like says it.
Is your campsite? I gasped. I'm like, is your campsite okay after the storms?
Yeah, we were low in a ravine. As he says, like, unless your building conjures another wing this evening, he like takes a step back into the hallway and like
does one of the
looks back and forth and is like, assuming your campsite or your building doesn't conjure another wing, and nothing happens. He's like, all right, I guess this is a weird building.
If it was later in the month, I would 100% pay that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm not
valid. We got 17.
Is the arrow still like bonking up and down above?
Oh no, that's worn off by now for sure.
Okay.
I like the idea that they cast it
like,
again. It's just
it's bouncing off the walls of this like donk 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 because it's trying to go. Anyways.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry to be distracted by my own headcanon about what's happening right now. Continue.
We could probably like see if we can expand, but especially if you are on the move, that makes sense to have an outdoors and mobile camp.
It's a lot of dirty equipment too. It's surveying equipment and
have a barn.
There's a barn, yeah.
Oh.
It's got a level and a half.
If you feel more comfortable,
it's got most of 2 levels.
It's up to you guys. We're not
maybe we'll work to consolidate. We'll see.
Yeah, we're not. Whatever makes you guys. If you guys feel more comfortable that way, that's fine too. It's not a big deal.
So, you got no leads on this thing, huh?
Nothing as of yet. I mean, you mentioned that there has been talk and that some people are missing from the carnival.
I mean, not like missing persons missing. Like
it's just not always all accounted for.
There's never a time when everybody's in the same place, which could just be the goings on of a carnival. But
out of curiosity, what do you all do? Are you all professional miners?
Most of the time, yeah. Occasionally.
What are your hobbies?
I mean, occasionally in mines we find monsters and they have to get killed. By and large, just the mining. We also appraise things. We polish things.
Ooh.
We like to spend and make money. That's what we do.
Gonna do another Hail Mary. I pull out the pamphlet from the carnival, and I say, it's interesting that you mentioned like not everyone's there. I pull out the pamphlet from the carnival and I like point to the squigglies that I recognize. And I ask, like, do you guys see or can understand some of this stuff that's on here?
The Minotaur like crouches down again and leans into Dwell. Dwell says, yeah, it says that these folks aren't up for indiscriminate wanton thievery.
Right.
I really hope it just says that exact phrase.
But it's just in reverse text and everything. It's pretty easy to read if
Right.
you're just like, you know how to look at it. Yeah, so I mean, I took that at face value, especially considering if they're a carnival, they wouldn't want to create bad relations with the towns that they visit so that they could come back. So are you suggesting that we should have taken a closer eye at the actual performing troupe of the carnival and their whereabouts during the show?
I mean, if you haven't found the thing, I would think that you would want to take a look at any potential source of pilfering of the thing. But
Yeah.
he says, I don't know this carnival very well, but it does seem peculiar that some strange events have been going on since they arrived at this admittedly newly opened city, but frankly, there's not a lot of traffic here to facilitate a successful carnival. There's a couple of 100 people here at a time at most.
We're working on it. We just recently cleaned up the roads over on that side. Did you see the gardens that were over there? They're working on it. It's really nice.
He says, I understand it. I think you're missing my point, though.
Yeah, no, I
There's
hear
no
you. I
reason
hear
that
you.
the carnival would want to be here.
I get it. So I get that you don't know it really well.
Unless
Mm.
there was a specific reason that the carnival would want to be here.
Would be here.
And you have those 2-foot-long corn dogs.
It's true.
You can get those a lot of places. I don't know.
What about this toad though? I got a toad bandolier.
Yeah,
Cooper made it.
It's a toad, and then the toad says,
Right?
ribbit.
It's
He
a
says,
speak.
oh, Jesus, what was that?
I completely forgot about that. I forgot that
Yes,
the toad
yeah,
speaks
it
but
just
only says
says.
rivet.
Yep. So while that
When
exchange is
I
happening,
wait,
I, like,
just real quick, I'm sorry to get sidetracked about the toad. When I speak with animals to the toad, it only says rivet as well, right?
Mhm.
Like even in okay, great,
Yeah.
perfect. So it's a touched toad.
no, we wanted it to be able to tell us things.
It can. It says ribbit.
Mhm.
We
Oh
just
gosh. But it's in the inflection of his voice when we send him on mission. While that's happening, and I'm like listening to him, I like squint really hard at the flyer and like look at all of the performing acts. I'm desperate because I've been to this carnival twice to remember the.
You're breaking up. You got to start over. You've been in the
Oh
carnival twice,
no! We've been to the carnival twice. I'm trying to remember who each of the performers were,
Mhm.
and like if their makeups match what Morty described as the people who have hopped over the fence.
Couldn't see them. Like in enough detail. I didn't have. I only got their their size, give or
general
take.
disposition.
I mean, based off like size alone,
Tones,
yeah, they're professional wrestlers. One of them's probably big. One of them probably isn't. You know.
Yeah.
Other
Well,
than
that
that.
isn't. Well, we still haven't visited these guys
No,
after the
not
whole
yet.
collapse,
Correct.
Yeah.
and it's not safe enough for them to travel by themselves. Though he has
And
a point.
there's a dozen to 2 dozen people, and you know one of them. You specifically know one of them like is a druid, right? So presumably they
Right.
all have skills, right?
No, I'm saying like let's say like they wouldn't want to go on the road by themselves.
Sure, they wouldn't go further into Bell, no.
Or yeah, so like at this point in time, while the carnival is still packing up, we still have an opportunity to prevent whatever is happening.
Mhm.
But how I also understand it is not everyone's part of the carnival, and we had like 400 people just show up. That were a couple hundred people showed up and that were
Sure.
camped outside of Wins Hollow, varying from merchants and everything. So the real investigation we really should have done is also to the merchants and the like, because they could also have been affected because we couldn't have, of course, seen everybody in here. But I'm assuming if there was also stuff happening, it would happen to them as well. So maybe we could ask those questions out there, and yeah.
But they have also just given us what they've heard is chit chatter about the people of the carnival itself. So I'm supportive of investigating all, but perhaps we should make haste to catch the folks over with the carnival. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we still have to talk to them about the whole, collapse of, the big top and the fact that, that happened. So, like, that in and of itself is a conversation. Like, not only the, hey, stuff's missing. So.
This all seems like very legitimate things to have conversations about.
So, yeah. Anywho.
What would you like to do?
I mean, what time? I know you said nighttime, like how?
You said it's evening, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like 6 p.m.-ish.
Oh, yeah, then we are definitely going.
Yeah. So let's move one of the tables from the dining room into the working room. Let's assist with moving beds down so that they've got everything that they need. And then let's head over to the carnival people.
Okay. It doesn't take long to do that. By like 6:30 at the latest, you guys start heading out to the carnival. It takes, 6 or 7 minutes to get up there. And you find yourselves on the hill. And there is a map. You should not see that as necessarily a combat scenario, but if you all want to look at it.
Famous words before it becomes a combat scenario.
If you all want to look at it, it is the active map on Roll20.
You shouldn't see this as a combat scenario, but anyway, roll for initiative.
I was gonna, yeah. I feel a skill challenge coming.
And for the folks at home, ignore the fact that Elise is not the DM. I haven't updated the other overlay.
Actually, this is my game now because Twix says it is.
Belongs to me now. As you guys head in, you notice that everything looks pretty neatly packed up at this point.
Like way fast.
It's been like it's only been like a day, hasn't it?
No, it's been like a few hours.
Okay.
No, it's been a full day.
Oh, I did not know. I didn't have a full rest. No, it has not been a full day yet.
Yeah, the carnival, the tent
thing just blew down.
Last night.
Yeah.
I don't remember when we slept either, but
I don't remember when we slept either.
Right, but it happened at night, and it is now night again. So there you go.
Okay, so there was
Roll your die, Annex.
What?
Roll your recharge die.
Oh, that's right.
I was more considering the fact that I had like no spell slots left, and I was like, I don't remember there being a long rest at some point in time, but all right.
Yeah, it's fully charged again. I rolled a 5.
Just to clarify, Brian, can I click the long rest on?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to be like, oh, no, Jake.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You find yourself in the carnival. There's the large canopy tents have been replaced by like lower, smaller, kind of like camping tents. Looks like all of the beams have been packed up pretty quickly. There's kind of a makeshift pen for the horses. Everything is notably, like, you look around and everything has been packed up, but very little is loaded, right? Like, everything is still kind of
in the boxes phase of moving.
Yeah. If you were involved in this, you would have helped them pack, not helped them move. And if you have friends that don't know what the difference is, they're bad friends.
Oof. Nothing makes my blood pressure go up than that scenario.
Oh no!
Yeah. Help us move. Okay, I will lift boxes and put them on trucks and take them off trucks. We haven't packed anything. I'm leaving. Anyway. So that's what you see. Folks are kind of like milling about. They don't look particularly active at this point. They're kind of like eating communal meals. You do know that Durham DeVale, you see Durham DeVale with some folks in the only 2 carts that seem to be loaded. One of whom is a pretty large man. He appears to be over there with a goblin and a short-ish human. Not quite halfling short, but
Who is Durham Duvall? Is that the owner?
He owns the carnival, yeah.
We're coming in from the so that we don't. They're just eating right now.
Mm-hmm.
With only a couple of people doing packing and whatnot.
Like nobody is packing it. No, like it looks like the packing is largely done.
Got it.
Who are all the folks milling around in the middle here? Are they just like the performers?
Yeah, they are carnivores.
Oh, yeah. I wave my hand and say, Henry! Sorry, I promised I wasn't going to yell again, and I yelled. I'm sorry.
So the goblin, the large man, the person talking to Durham, and 2 other folks from this middle area all like look up and wave back.
This bit.
It's a good bit. You leave my bit alone. But 5 people wave back at you, and they're like, "Oh, hi."
I'm glad to see that you're all okay. We like scamper over.
Okay.
No, don't put we in there. You.
I scamper over.
You made a choice for you. Okay. Yeah. They kind of start to make their way toward you, I suppose.
Oh.
And they say, what can we do for you?
We just wanted to check and see how you guys were. I mean, the storms were really bad, and I look over at the tent and go, and I mean, we're really sorry to have experienced that. I was really enjoying myself here at the carnival. You guys are really good.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we lost a couple of tents, but by and large, we managed to get everything packed away. A couple of things blew away, but I'm sure that given time, the folks we sent out to find them can find them. A couple of canopies were torn. It'll be a bit of a problem, but we can mend those, I suppose. Fortunately, none of us were hurt. I saw a few folks.
Yeah, 2 people died.
Yeah.
So I guess my question now to you, Brian, is like, where is his like focus right now? Is he when I said that to him, did he like flinch, or he's kind of like, it's a loss? Like, where is his concern?
So between Henry, and Hank, who are the ones you're talking to right now?
I thought it was Durham that said that.
No, DeVale is still by the cart. The rest of them came to respond to be
okay. That was my bad. Then
called.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought he had also come on. So I do not want to say that to him.
Okay.
That was specifically going to be geared at Duvall.
Owner.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the Flying Henrys they seem disappointed, like upset. They seem, relieved that their own folk didn't get hurt. the way that like you would be relieved if your own family lived through a pretty substantial disaster, but
Yeah.
they seem, they're not happy that they don't seem like complacent or nonchalant about the fact that people were harmed.
Okay. Is that one guy that did the whole back stretching and going like this here? How is he looking medically?
He's looking okay. That's Big Band Bolton, who is a kayfabe name, and he is in fact Big Hank. Is you know him to be Hank.
I'll go check on. I mean, is he around here?
He's with the rest of the Henrys. Yeah.
Like, hey, how's your not arms getting ripped off situation? Because roles that were implied.
He says, it could have been much worse. I appreciate you making sure my arms didn't fall off, and just that they got stretched out.
Well, yeah. So, if you need anything, let me know.
Would have been tough to be a part of this line of work without arms.
Yeah, the 24/7 belt's tough to maintain. Yeah, I get it. All right, cool. Have we had any direct interactions with Duval?
Not with Duval, no. You've had direct interactions with the Henrys before the rest of the carnival arrived, but I don't recall you having any
I don't think we did
interaction with Durham Duval.
Oh, so for what it's worth, I'm glad to hear that you guys are okay. I'm a little starstruck. It's really awesome to see you guys again, but I don't know if we've had the chance to meet some of the other people in the crew here. Do you guys would love to meet everyone else, and if you guys need help with anything, we can help out too.
Well, we're usually pretty self-sufficient, but keep that in mind. I mean,
where are you guys headed?
What's that?
Where's your next location?
Yeah, where to next?
I don't know. That's not our call. You'd have to talk to Mr. Duval about that. He seems to be interested in. Told us not to pack the trucks or not to pack the wagons yet, so I'm not sure what. He might just be trying to be courteous and not flee a town after pretty serious things happened. But
we can go talk to him about that then.
Did Mr. Duval share how you wound up here, or why you chose here?
So there were new prospects here in Bell. It said that trade roads were opening up again, and the good folk in Bell need some entertainment, and that we could be substantial providers of that entertainment. So we jumped at the opportunity to tap into a new market, or I suppose an old market, and make way,
What are you going to do about the tent? I mean, the tent looks it's in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, well, we'll have to sew it up. We don't exactly have the money for more canopies, but we're pretty skilled folk. We've got to do a little bit of everything around here. We've got some folks that can, work on mending it through the secret ways, as it were. Mend it with some old time tradition. But I don't know. Alex, you know the word tradition. Occasionally in super kind of even backwoods for druids, tradition refers to magical energy provided by druids. So you've often heard of old time extraordinarily isolated druids refer to shillelagh as, I'm gonna hit him with some tradition.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta use that line. Hit him with tradition.
So good.
I'm sorry, I forgot where I was going with that thought. What do you mean by hit him with tradition? I'm sorry, I just like I can that can be interpreted a bunch of ways, and
This is you
kind of about it.
It like gives you an up down specifically.
So you have a guy is what you're saying.
This is we don't want to like show too much behind the curtain, but there's a real fine way we track down all those animals for the.
Is the tradition here with you, or?
This is I mean, it's Henry. I mean, Henry's right here.
Yeah, I look over into the fence and I'm like looking for the crab and everything. I'm like, where is it?
Like he's pointing and you're looking like where, who, and then you like look at eye level Spit and there's just a goblin standing there. Like, oh hi.
No way!
He says, yeah. Wait, what?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Hey,
You really
NX.
did it.
This is sidebar with like I tug on NX and like, hey NX, come here. Do you have any scrolls of guiding bolt on you?
Oh yeah, I got like 3 more. How many?
Okay.
I have.
I just
have
need
2.
one.
Okay. I give you one.
Thank you.
Guiding bolt. It's only
Guiding
good for 120 feet, so I've seen you sizing up 120 feet a lot.
So while that's happening, I'm like, I'm talking.
Nope.
Try again.
And it's Big Hank. And I look over at Big Hank, and then this is Henny. Henny. Yeah, I said Henny.
Sure.
Oh, you
Yeah,
broken up, so
so
I didn't hear what you'd said.
Oh no, yeah. I'm sorry. My like throat is off a little bit. But I asked the goblin, I'm like, which one's your favorite one?
This is I like the scorpion, but I don't know. I like the swarm too, because people don't expect me to be a swarm, and then I can like hide
A
places.
swarm.
Plus, like bees are important, like
They
They're
protect the ecosystem, it's true.
Yeah, they do a lot.
Yeah.
Like what you call it, the stuff with the pollination and whatnot. They do a lot. Like
Yeah. It's how plants make babies.
sure, yeah. I mean, I don't really think it's like babies, but like maybe some plants have babies in like a baby sense, because like kind of like people plants, but like I don't know.
Yeah. And so like I'm definitely like, well, I mean, I'm genuinely but also playing up the whole Starstruck bit, because it's like I got to see them in action. I remember being like really excited about trying to pump them up before the carnival got here, being like, it's real. Like you guys are definitely the real deal. I see everyone else back there. Kind of. Do you mind if I get to? I pull out my pamphlet and I ask for their autographs.
Sure. Yeah, that's a new one, but yeah, I suppose. And you have.
You've
4...
never been asked for your autographs before?
I don't know what that. I don't know what. No, that's fine. And so 4 Henrys, go ahead and sign your pamphlet. The 5th one signs it, Big Hank, and then crosses it out, and then writes in Big Ben Bolton.
Nice. And what about the other folks? Like, come on, guys. What about the other folks?
Says, yeah, I suppose. I don't know if you want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they don't have as good a working relationship with. Maybe they never met you one-on-one, and they're kind of like. We're kind of an isolated group. We try to keep to ourselves, but yeah, I suppose I can make some introductions.
Consider me a fan.
Yep. they take you to the rest of the folks, and that's when DeVale starts to kind of move over toward you all.
Yeah.
Can you sign my paper?
Sarah Silver looks at you and she says, I don't know why you would want me to do that. That's weird, but okay.
It's an autograph. It's like a souvenir.
What?
Have I seen enough, or do I have a good enough idea to be able to like activate a guiding bolt for Mayor Ornath's trinket that he's looking for?
It's about this big.
Yes.
We know the general size.
Probably. I mean, like, if you're trying to do it subtly, that's probably not going to work as a giant golden
it's a guiding
beam
bolt.
erupts
Yeah.
from the scroll, but maybe.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we had a giant glowing arrow erupt already once this session, and it turned out pretty okay.
So far, yeah.
I mean, I think
Very
you were
nice
given
way
a
of
lot
putting
of
that.
grace for it to be okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to do, Dimitri?
Not yet. I want to
Okay.
go. I want to relocate myself once again as they're all talking once
Okay.
more.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm hiding.
The all-out brawl I'm about to have with this dude.
So I mean, I guess while I'm in front of him, it'd be like, "My name's Spit. I really enjoyed the show. What act did you perform in? Sign by your name."
So this is I was in a pugilistic bout. Why would you want what?
What?
If an
It's
autograph is like a thing about a thing that you appreciate, why would you want an autograph if you don't know what I did? That's very confusing.
You guys, well, I mean, I not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting Goblin over there to sign next to the so I don't know anymore.
That checks out. She like signs her name and she like passes it around and she's like, I guess he wants you to sign this? And like 2 or 3 of them are like, okay, and one of them's like, I'm not signing things. I'm not giving him my name.
No,
That's
it's like-
some weird magic
it's a-
stuff he's trying to do and I don't like it.
No,
That
it's
actually
I'm a
checks
fan
out.
of the show. I really enjoyed it. I came 2 nights in a row, and it was a lot of fun. And I just want to be able to. Well, I mean, the Henrys over there were really cool too, and I just want something to remember the show by.
Okay. Make a stealth check, Dimitri, as you're wandering through
What's
camp.
going on? Yeah.
Health check. All right. Yeah, NX, why are you like randomly making
Why
yours?
not? Why are you're the one drawing arrows across the map?
Right.
Like you're sneaking
'Cause-
around back there and using whatever the D&D version of like a ranger is, a laser rangefinder.
Oh my goodness.
18.
Yeah, you're good. As far as you know.
Who else hasn't signed? I would say
It's
very
like it's like
loudly.
made its rounds. Everyone who's going to sign has signed.
Okay.
All right.
There's
Now,
still
I go
one
over
person that
Mr.
is
DeVal.
vehement that you're only interested in stealing his name so you can do some sort of word magic or
whoosh.
name magic to
Oh
ruin him.
no.
Well, when he finds out how to do it, let me know.
so, where's Coop in all this?
Coop is one of the characters that is with you. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't move up. There.
Oh.
There's Coop. He's the dreamboat, obviously.
Yes, I figured he was the dreamboat.
Have they taken notice of Coop?
Yeah.
Who doesn't notice Coop?
They first of all, they notice him, and second of all, you can see them like so Savage Randall is like holding his belt, and then like you can see like the calculations in his mind as he's trying to measure whether or not Coop would fit in this belt. And, like, it's clear that he thinks that, like, Coop would be a good addition to this carnival. As Coop silently nods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coop's not still entirely sure what's going on, to be honest.
That's fair.
It's like,
I'm getting autographs.
About he's getting autographs.
All right. I will now activate my scroll of guiding.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Uh, 20.
Sure. So you activate the spell, and it doesn't. What's the best way to phrase this to be clear? So as you activate the spell, it does not point anywhere. It activates and then fizzles, as if there's something interfering with it.
Cool.
Did any of us see this happen?
No, because he's hiding behind a tent.
All right then. That's fun.
Where's Dimitri, everybody? I haven't seen him since we got here.
Duval got close to us because wasn't he
Yeah,
on route
Deval's
to
with
us?
the group.
Devol's right over here as I'm circling around him. Thank you so much for signing my paper.
Is this him? This guy right here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try and be sneaky and come back over. Back
Make
this
another
way
stealth
from-
check.
I figured as much. 19.
Okay. But Deval says, we don't typically have folks come up the hill during non-operation. What can we do for you?
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you guys are taking care of all this stuff, but we are also the ones that help deal with the dogs and, make sure people didn't die last night. So, like, we thought we would come by and give it a visit, considering there's people that got hurt and some of your people got hurt or could have been hurt.
Yeah, I did notice you helped Big Ben keep the tent up long enough to make sure that most people got out, and I appreciate
Where were you?
that. I was.
I say that because I really don't know where he was. Like
he was actively like pushing people out of the tent to get.
Okay.
Like, it is clear that he was also working on evacuating the tent.
Okay.
Notably, he was one of the last people in the tent.
Okay. So, has this ever happened before? Like, at all? I mean, like, or any weird instances?
He says, I mean, of course, weather can happen. This is why we scout a location for 2 weeks before we set up any tents. That's why we sent an early team over here to make sure that the weather was going to cooperate with us.
The Henry.
They said there was no substantial winds, no substantial inclement weather. Everything was everything was pretty docile. So we decided to go ahead and set up, and then, I mean, you were there last night. Winds picked up, and asked around. They said they haven't seen winds like that in 10 years.
So really appreciate you helping getting people out. It means a lot. My question is, you guys are packed up or boxed up.
Mm-hmm.
What's your guys' plans from here out? Like, there's damage control that's got to be done, right? Because, so what's your guys' plan?
I mean, realistically we could be gone by the morning, but that seems a little
doesn't look great.
crass.
Yeah.
So we'll stick around for probably about a week or so, and then head, I guess, back toward Rainwall or back toward Val, or I don't know. head back toward the rest of civilization. Maybe try to catch some ferries to the Westfall, head down that way.
We heard that that there may be additional activity happening up in Goldholm at some point, so you might not want to leave the immediate area too soon.
Oh, we sent a scout up there, and it doesn't look like anybody lives up there. Well, there was one
Not
fella
yet.
that was odd, but
we're chatting with some folks who may look to revitalize it. So definitely a site to keep an eye on.
I certainly hope they do, and when that time comes, we'll be happy to take our route in that direction. But I gotta think about the 22 mouths I gotta feed.
True.
Well, 22 people, and then there's the animals, and it all adds up. Can't be
the
performing
22
for nobody.
22 people. I look around and I do the nod while I'm counting and whatnot. I'm like, where is everyone then?
Well, some folks, some things went to the wind, so some folks want to try to track that stuff down. There's a couple of people in town.
I frowned a little bit and looked down at my paper, realizing that not every name has a signature next to it.
That's true. Draddock 1979. Thanks for following. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are not signatures next to all those names.
Could you account for everyone that you have and where they are right now?
Currently?
Yes.
He does like a head
maybe a head count, like whether like, hey, those people are like these people are gone, because he gave us 20. He said firmly 22.
Yeah.
How many people are here and who's gone out? Like, and I'm looking for either hesitation or just like.
So he immediately starts like doing a head count.
Yeah.
He kind of goes through and he says, "Well, I guess Henry took a group out to the north. There's a group to the south. 2 folks in town. Yeah, I think I could account for everybody. Why? What
2 folks in town. We go down to town. Do you think I could, if you point their names out to me, maybe I could catch them before they leave town? I don't know how I would catch the people who are up north and up south, but can you point out who I should be asking for, like maybe if they're at Macy's or other places?" And I hold out the paper.
Yeah, he says, Ronnie and Amelia went down to get supplies.
Ronnie and Emilio, and I look at that, and I don't know if they... Amelia. I don't know if they have, like, acts next to them. Who were they inside the circus?
They were
the carnival.
Two of the ladies in the Battle Royal. Veronica Velvet, she goes by the Vixen. And then Amelia Monroe goes by Awesome Amelia.
Ooh, that makes sense.
Ronnie and Amelia, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I definitely want to be able to get there. The wrestling show is like the best part. And I say that loud enough, hopefully, that Randall hears.
He adjusts his belt on his shoulder and starts to walk away toward the rest of his companions.
Wouldn't he say, "Ooh yeah," or something along those lines?
No, he says, the wrestlers, they really are the cream of the crop. The cream always rises,
And I go, okay, so Ronnie and Amelia. If I were to, I'm trying to remember, if I were to picture them, what do they look like when they're not in the? Their outfits.
I guess Veronica Velvet is probably 5'1", maybe. Amelia is a little bit taller than that. Amelia is a human. Veronica is a half elf. Yes, I guess Ronnie has a darker complexion. Amelia is pretty pasty. You get the idea. She's probably from Rainwall or some kind of northern climate.
Yeah, I hope to be able to run into them. Especially, I mean, I know that you said you aren't packing up tomorrow. I wouldn't miss them, so thanks for the information. When the others come back, I mean, maybe we could come back when maybe some of the other groups are back. And hopefully some more of them will be open to autographing my paper here.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't speak for their willingness to sign their names to Strange. I don't know. I mean, we delivered the document, so it's not an odd document, but it's an odd request. I don't.
Yeah.
You get the idea that you were like starting a new trend here. Like autographs are not a thing.
Yeah.
Like exist,
Yes!
frankly. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe they'll write their name down. I don't know. It's not a contract, so I don't know. Okay,
No,
it's not up to me. So,
well, yeah. Well, yeah. I turn over to Morty and I'm like, "Do you remember? I might forget, but do you remember the descriptions of
What?
Ronnie and Amelia?"
I did not. You broke up as you were asking that question. What?
Boo. Do you remember the descriptions of Ronnie and Amelia? In case I forget.
I'm gonna assume that if we look at them, we can see them.
I mean, you know what they look like. You saw them perform.
Yeah, I don't have any understanding of what those people look like.
No. I mean, Spit saw them perform.
Yeah.
He
Well,
knows what they look like.
yeah. I lean into Morty. I said I wanted their descriptions in case they matched potentially the size of people that you were referring to earlier, because there's 2 people in town again.
Okay. Are you? All right. I don't think we are looking for a very specific height person, like a 6 foot tall. Like this is me to you, like saying,
Right,
like,
yeah.
we're looking for someone that's like 6 feet tall and a shorter person.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I guess like Ronnie could potentially be the shorter. I mean, like based off the only descriptor
Right,
being like
yeah.
shorter, like 5'1", 5'2"
yeah.
is pretty short.
But we're looking for someone that's like 6
Yeah.
foot,
Hey,
and then
I mean, there are several
Yeah.
people in this camp currently that are 6 foot. I mean, it's
is that description though of people? Is there a combination of people that are kind of like together that are like around that seem like they're kind of more clustered than the rest, like clicking almost? I don't think that's the right word, but like how they seem like when you're with friends, like you tend to congregate a little bit more. Even if you're friendly with everybody, you're gonna still be like I don't know, maybe
like
that's
the Henrys are
maybe because
together or
that's like
something.
Jake.
I mean,
because I've got
the Henrys are together. It's a little bit difficult for you to tell because, like, the first thing you did was change the groupings when you walked in, right? Like, the first thing you did was like, "Hey, Henrys, come talk to me," and then 5 people approached you, and you did like nobody really like checked to like look for social groupings beforehand, you know. So it's tough to like kind of suss that out.
I asked, like, how long have you all been doing this carnival, and are there any have you all been doing it a long time together?
Who are you asking?
I mean, I guess I asked Deval,
Sure.
of the entire group.
Says, well, I've been doing it close to 30 years now. You know,
Wow.
different folks have different tenures with the company, but Randall, he's been here since shortly after I started, and the rest of, I mean, the latest addition was 4 months ago, I suppose, but I don't know. Various times, I suppose. I don't know.
I guess so.
The majority of folks have been here.
Who are they?
10
Are they
years
here?
Plus. Oh, the person who joined most recently. That's Gordo. And he points to a halfling that has like tattoos all over his face. And he points and says,
Neat.
it's Gordo. Gordo says, "What's that, boss?" And he says, "Nothing, Gordo. You're fine."
Thank you for signing my paper.
Gordo was the one that wouldn't sign it.
Oh! I understand and respect your decision to not sign my paper, but your act was really cool.
Thanks. You don't recall him having an act?
Darn it!
Presumably, like he's probably involved in like the behind the curtain kind of stuff.
Yeah, the backstage. Yeah,
but
got it.
But sure, he says, "Yeah, yep, great act, thanks." Gordo is much shorter than would fit this description.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys said that there were things that you were missing. What's missing?
Oh,
Maybe
well,
we can help keep an eye out.
We lost a couple of tents. We lost mostly some drapery. Some of the drapery was holding on to some of the midway stuff, so we lost our hammer game kind of went off like a, I don't know, the wind picked up the tent it was tied to and the whole damn thing flew away.
Oh no.
Anything else we can do for you? It's again, this is kind of an odd circumstance, having visitors, but I mean, you're, I suppose, welcome, but
Is he like, I don't know, if something feels like really off, and
make an insight check.
like I don't know even how I would describe it, like what I'm looking for, but still something feels off.
24. Something does feel off, and part of that is like you can tell that he clearly feels like something is off with you also, and there is kind of this like counter
feeling it's off.
Yeah, like you get the idea that Deval doesn't trust you and frankly is presuming you're up to no good.
I mean, I think that all, like, you're not saying it out loud, but that checks out. This is strange.
I don't think I agree with that though. Like,
I mean, I'm not saying that you are up to no good. I mean, he seems to think that you are up to no good, right?
I want to go off of this guy, but he hasn't given me reason yet.
I mean, I'd be sad because he just signed my paper. I'm very excited, and I'm kind of glad that, you know, I got all these autographs. I am sad that not everyone's here.
Well, I guess we have some stuff that we need to do, but please don't skip town anytime soon.
Well, I don't expect that we will be.
We need to check out what happened with that wind. That's something that is important here. And you know, if it is of importance to you as to prevent maybe something else happening in the future, it could be a liability that could be dodged. So we might have some extra questions we have to ask.
Are you suggesting we had something to do with that wind?
Are you suggesting that I'm suggesting that I'm doing that? I'm saying we're going to try to figure it out, so you'll have an answer for that. Because remember, you guys just had a tent collapse in this town, and you know how word travels fast, and if you are just going like, oh, I don't know what happened, you know, it looks really good on the PR side.
Sure. We weren't planning on leaving anytime soon.
That's why I said,
regardless
hey,
of the veiled threats. But
there was no veiled threats. It was just saying, hey, please don't skip town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be around a week or so.
Great. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to just turn my back and walk away.
I turn over to DeVal. I'm like, he doesn't remember sleeping last night. He must not have had rested well. Thank you so much for signing my paper.
I'm not sure any of us rested well last night, but you're welcome.
I know. Yeah, it's true.
You guys head back to town or what?
I'd like to go check out the merchants really fast.
Okay.
For purchasing purposes too, like not
Sure.
like.
Yeah.
Right. Hopefully one of them has a bow. Anyway.
Well, as we walk away and we're all coming away from the camp here, I let them know that I tried to use that scroll that you gave me, NX, and it just fizzled out instantly whenever I tried to use it.
Yeah, that already has me concerned for when we inevitably don't have to fight because it's roll 20, what it would do to magic.
What's that?
Nothing.
You can make an Arcana check to determine why it might fizzle out like that.
Oh, what? Me or
Anyone? Now that he has shared that information.
Give somebody guidance.
Woo. If you want to give me guidance, that'd be great.
Yeah, that was like
that
yeah.
roll
that
was pretty bad.
It was a D4, so.
You also have 12 rerolls.
That was a math. Oh my god, +1, 17. I rolled a 17.
Yeah, so you're slowly deducing the problem with these scrolls is they are using like the wrong reagent, right? Like, so part of it is like he's trying to scribe conjuration scrolls with ink used for divination spells.
Oh.
And so, like, ultimately, what you know about divination spells is based off Dimitri's description. If the spell... If, like, something was miles away and a spell only found things close by, it just wouldn't work. But the fact that something happened and then fizzled out indicates that the spell went off, but then something suppressed that magic. And with divination spells, you know that, like, some of them require line of sight. You don't get the idea that that is the case with these. But some divination spells have, like, if there's certain materials blocking what you're trying to scry on, it can interfere with that spell and keep you from using it effectively. Typically, that is like a specific thickness of lead or a thicker amount of wood or concrete or something, or masonry.
Or a bunch of boxes packed into a cart.
Like, say, full cover.
I mean, specifically, you know that full cover wouldn't have an impact because the maps had full cover, and you still found those because they were in a different building, right? So it wouldn't be a full cover issue. It could be a materials issue. You did notice that, like, all of the crates and things were wood. You're not sure, they could be lined potentially, but you don't get the idea that it would be a thickness of wood enough to interfere with a divination spell. Usually you need like 6 inches or more. But it's tough to know beyond that.
So I've with all that said, what I still understand that means Guiding Bolt discovered, Guiding Bolt knew that the object we were looking for is there. It just poofed because it couldn't find exactly where it was. Like, it was still within 120 feet, but it couldn't locate it specifically.
That is a good understanding, yes.
Okay. So I as we're walking away, how would this have come to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. So I'm in thought while we're walking back to the town. I'm like, hey, so I was thinking about how the guiding bolt would poof, and I explain everything you just explained.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should go back in there. I think, or do you think we should talk to Mayor Ornath first, let him know, maybe bring down a little bit more heat with us? Like it's around here somewhere.
We don't know if it was his fault or not. We don't know whose fault it is, and
Well, okay, let me rephrase it then. I think maybe we should go back. Did we get any impression that did we even mention we were looking for this thing? I don't think we did.
Nope.
Okay. So they wouldn't, do we get the impression that they would have gotten the impression that we are suspicious they have a thing we are looking for?
Well, we did ask them a lot of questions.
There's that. Also, Morty specifically got the impression that they have the impression that you guys are up to
looking for something.
Maybe not necessarily looking for something, but at least DeVale seems to think you were up to no good. So
the guy that just had a tent collapse.
Yeah.
We're up to no good when we saved his bacon.
Well, now I know for a fact that they're up to no good.
No, because they have someone's up to no good.
Well, I know, but we know for a fact that they have stolen property. Well, they have.
Someone has stolen property.
So
and that's what I'm worried about.
What I'm getting at is we should go back down there because I don't want them to like get all sketched out by our being sketchy and like disappear the thing that we're specifically looking for.
So your suggestion is let's go back to the camp and talk more with DeVale?
Yeah, let's see if we can.
I think you need to lead that charge then, because if like you have that info, that's a different story.
Okay.
But also we have to answer the fact of how do we know? So we want to get that humana down first before we show up and they go, how do you know? Because they're going to immediately say to us, why do you not trust us? Because we don't know where it is. We know it's in the area. It could be inside of a horse. We don't know. But like, for instance, we don't actually know where it is. We know it's here.
I will say that in all of your knowledge of divination magic, there certainly is not enough horse flesh to interfere with the scrying spell, unless they like lined up like broadwise. Like, what was that?
What did you say about it?
So Cooper's mind immediately, like, you see his eyes just go like wide as he ponders the logistics of getting it into the horse.
Yeah. I mean, Annex, like we can explain to them that we are looking for something that's of importance to the mayor, and that their help in us finding it could get them in good favor with the mayor.
Yeah,
and
we can
also use one here, because frankly, we're gonna be using these in other parts of the city, and so I think this is just as a legitimate use as possible.
I was gonna position it to them as we didn't suspect them specifically. We've just been using these things to try and find the amulet. It's an amulet, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's about this big.
Right. It gets bigger every time.
It's a 4-inch tall oval. It's like
huge. It's huge.
Yeah, but
big.
But kobolds are also this tall.
Yeah, but kobolds, it wasn't made for kobolds to wear.
Well, I know, but anyway, so I guess the question comes down to like when we.
That's huge.
Yeah, but it's ovular, not circular.
This big.
It's this
No,
big.
it's like the height of the coaster.
Yeah.
But it's like
but like a teardrop. A teardrop. Yeah.
It's this big.
It's a big ass amulet.
It's the size of 11 mammoth skulls. Like, I don't. All right.
It was what was big enough to fit a picture inside of it with the.
You say a thing one time and it just keeps coming up.
No, I'm completely with you on this, Brian.
So all right, I explain my thought process to everybody. They're like, look, they have the thing that we are specifically looking for. Like it's there's no question it's there. We don't know where, and you know, Spit, you and I have been talking about how to position, how to let them up down gently. That we know they have our stuff, but we don't want them to know that we know that they know they. You know what I mean? So
we want their help in finding this thing.
Yes. And well, no, that's good actually, because we can position it as like, well, you know, our friend Spit accidentally swept up a map earlier today while it was cleaning. There's been a lot of wind, you know, stuff can go. That's, you know, the hammer tent got just picked up and flown across. So like, maybe you
theft really is the weather's fault. It's true.
Yeah, like maybe you accidentally packed away this amulet that our mayor's looking for, and like if you helped us,
that was in his home that you somehow repossessed.
We're not gonna leave that part out of the story, but
I think you should do it. I'm here for you.
Yeah, all right. I would like to, like, I explain myself, and you don't even have to come with me. I just want to.
No, we're go. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
I'm your bodyguard.
All right, so then I guess Morty and I are back in the camp.
Is anyone else coming with us?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
everyone's going.
All okay. The Scrooges all show up again.
You get to the edge of camp, and Duvall kind of meets you at the gate, and he says, "What?
All right, so we're back here again.
Possibly need what? What do you need?"
Hey, Mr. Duvall. So it's
DeVale.
DeVale, I'm sorry. DeVale, I'm sorry. So I was just thinking on the way out of town here. The mayor of the town here is, and just to be clear, no one's accusing anyone of anything. I just want to get that out of the way before I say a word.
Yeah,
I'm not accusing anyone of anything. However, not however, and.
Is this going how you thought you wanted it to go?
Yeah, well, sir, let me explain myself, and then you'll see where I'm going with this. So our mayor has noticed something missing, and it was in his house, and we've come into possession of a whole bunch of these scrolls called guiding bolts. They help us find stuff, and we've used quite a few of them around town here. Well, it's what this guiding bolt does. If you met our friend Tor, you probably haven't. He's not great at magic, but he makes a lot of magic stuff. So, but here we have a guiding bolt. It tells us where stuff is. And we've used quite a few of them around town. They haven't given us much luck, but while just doing our due diligence, while we were here in the camp, one of them were set off just to see if, you know, maybe it got lost in all of the noise and the hubbub and stuff of the windstorm, and it detected it was nearby, but it couldn't tell us where it was. So you know, you mentioned that you wanted to get yourself in the good graces of the town here. It would go a long way if you could help us.
I did, but
you did. You said you wanted to stay put for another week or so it didn't look a little, you know, weird.
That would keep us from being in the bad graces, but not necessarily put us in the good graces. As he's saying this, you watch as like a whole tent starts bolting through the camp, as if there is something inside that is like frightened and sprinting across, like sprinting and blinded from being covered in this tent. And it bucks wildly. Sprints around the camp. Notably, it kind of tramples some of the pen and impales itself on the mule pen, which does two things. First of all, you see the tent collapse, and then second of all, it looks like the mules are spooked, and they just start bolting. And DeVale looks, he says, "Oh no, Jesus, not this now." And he says, "I don't have time for this. Apparently, I have to track down horses and mules. So I guess I'll talk to you later." And he just like starts sprinting around camp as the rest of the carnival folk like try to like corner horses and mules to like get them back in the pen now that the pen has been damaged and broken.
Can I speak with animals to just tell some of these animals to chill?
You can cast speak with animals.
I would like to. What's the one that's freaked out the most? That's the one I want to talk to right now.
Presumably the one that has just impaled himself and disappeared.
Disappeared?
Well,
Yeah,
it's
it's
dead
Clyde.
now.
It's Clyde.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see the
Yeah.
thing. I didn't know what was happening.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
neither did they.
All right. Well, I would like to talk to the next most freaked out one
Sure.
that's not currently dead.
There's like
and-
5 or 6 within 100 feet of you that are bucking and sprinting.
Yeah. Can I like go one at a time? Well, I can do it 4 times, but can I go with like 4 of them and ask them to just like chill?
I think it allows you to speak with any number of a type of animal, right? Within beasts for the duration. Yeah, so it's any animals. It's not just one.
Okay. All right. I'd like
Um,
to collectively just send calming vibes. Just, I want to send Cooper energy to everybody. Just chill. Just,
Sure.
just vibes.
Yeah, give me an animal handling check.
Oh, I don't want to use that die. That's the bad die. That's the good one. 20.
Yeah, so the 5 near you start to walk over to you and say what? What's going on?
They don't even know what's happening. Huh?
Like, hey, chill. It's all right. Like, I missed the fact that the mule was gonna come barging through too, and there's nothing to freak out about here. It's all good.
Oh, that was a mule? Is he okay?
Well, he's a bunch of flowers now, I think, but
I don't know what that
He's-
means.
they're the things you eat.
No, I know
the-
what a flower is. How does a mule become a bunch of flowers?
Was that not Clyde that came through? I
No,
guess
it
that
definitely
would've been
was.
Clyde. Oh, okay.
You get the idea that
this
these
is-
particular horses have not experienced the death of Clyde.
Oh. So he's a special horse. Do they understand what magic is? They're horses. Of course they don't.
Presumably they have a basic
They-
understanding. They're around magic people.
Yeah.
So he's a magic horse or magic. A lot of magic happened, and you see how there's a lot. You can actually eat the flowers now. I understand they're very delicious and will make your
But
tummy
weren't they
fuller.
a horse? Isn't that
Well, they
cannibalism?
No, I mean, no,
Why?
because it's a flower. A flower's not a horse.
But they were a horse. You're a very confusing man.
Well, you don't have to eat it either. You can just eat the grass around it. But
Make
the
a
point-
persuasion check, I guess.
I
just
can only imagine just like, nay. Like, that's all.
16.
Make it again because Rio redeemed. Try that again.
How's a 12 work?
A couple of them are like, "You want us to go eat people?" Okay. I mean,
All right. You
okay.
don't have to. It's up to you. Everyone has their free will. I just there's nothing worth running around and freaking out. You're gonna hurt yourselves. You don't want to wind up like Clyde. So just
Oh,
chill.
okay.
Just chill.
You have calmed
You're
down
good.
5 of these horses. Notably, Devel has mounted a horse and gone charging after 2 that escaped the camp.
Oh.
As you were chilling with your homies, I guess.
What was everybody else doing? Were they just like watching?
I think
me,
watching
like,
you chill with your homies.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna add to the, but the thought that I was gonna have was to summon the blink dogs, to go some of the horses together, if that helps the folks in the camp.
It's definitely something you can do. Yeah, presumably that would have a desired impact.
Dimitri, you've got wolves.
I will do it.
Send the wolves after the horses. That's
Yes.
a great
Right.
No.
I'll call them right down.
Right.
Do
I
you
will
want to
summon the
dogs?
blink dogs.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah. So you toss the fetch stick, and 3 Blinky boys arrive and get the general idea of what you want them to do, and go kind of like charging after DeVale in order to kind of round up those horses. It does occur to you that it's a good thing they can blink, because dogs typically go slower than horses, but these ones can teleport a little bit. So
The dogs are helping you. Don't be spooked.
you hear like a groan from his horse as he leaves camp. It's just like, oh god.
Oh no. I was telling DeVale not to be spooked by the blink dogs that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
sent
he
down.
knows.
I didn't want him to think like, oh snap. Oh, okay.
He sees the dogs and he's like, I don't know. I mean, they're not natural dogs, so it's odd for him, but whatever. He also runs a carnival, so he runs a carnival
Think
that
of
has
it
a
like
carousel
tradition.
made of horse bones, so whatever.
It's true. Ooh.
What would you like to
and
do?
in the meantime, I help the other people in the camp.
Mhm. Yeah.
In trying to gather horses and mules in the camp.
Do you have control over these blink dogs, or are they just like gonna go do whatever they're gonna do?
I told them to go help
okay.
DeVale.
Okay. Well, considering the person I wanted to talk to was DeVale, and he's busy now.
Look, I don't know what to tell you. Blame Slayer.
Well, actually, now would be a good time for Spit to rogue stuff and find out where the thing is. That's how it works, right?
It
Or
technically
spit
is that.
to rogue stuff and find
Yep.
out.
I mean, this technically was the opening for it. I wasn't intending on going this direction, but did I freeze?
No.
No.
Very good.
Oh, okay. Everyone was so still, and then I saw like Enix's face like whip to the other side. I'm like, wait, hold on, am I frozen still?
Notably, I will let you know it is getting dark, which is maybe a positive for your
Yeah.
whole let's do rogue stuff. But there are still like several people in camp, so several people that like are watching you currently because you
Right.
entered camp, right? And
Did
then wild things happened.
Did anyone else hear why we came back to town, or was that just a conversation with DeVale?
It was just a conversation with DeVille.
Did DeVale ever establish if there was like a lieutenant or a second in command to this thing that we could talk to?
You get the idea that
That's savage.
that Henny. Well, you get the idea that Henny the Goblin is like the forward guy. Like he was in charge of like this setup team that got here before the rest of the before the rest of the carnival. So like,
He's the one riding the
he's
goat.
he's like the advanced dude.
Do you think I should repeat my entire speech to him?
I mean, maybe we should approach it a little bit differently. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk to Hen. I just need their help in finding the thing.
How different? How? What do you mean?
Oh,
Like
just-
approach it differently.
By not saying that we suspect that it's here,
Did I say-
but instead by saying we want your help in finding it.
Oh, I see.
Come
Spit your
Liar.
better words than I
And
am.
maybe not opening with we're not throwing accusations around.
Oh. You say one thing.
It's true.
I mean, that was the opener, and it was a little.
I
That's,
don't want to
a little
accuse
weird.
you of anything, but All
I'm
right.
not saying you
This'll be
stole it,
interesting.
but
So you guys want to approach
See-
Henny the Goblin?
Yeah.
Sure.
hey,
So-
Spit. Hey, Spit, can you talk for me? Because you're better at words than I am, I guess.
I mean, I guess. I mean, we just Enix was talking with DeVale before he needed to run off, and I'm glad that we were able to help get all the like at least most of the horses and mules back. But we wanted to ask if we could use your help in helping Mayor out with a task that he's given us. Something that's precious to him has gone missing. It's an amulet. Do you want to know how big it is? It's about this big, and it's really, really important to him, and we've been asking folks to help us keep an eye out for it, so that we're able to recover it for him. It's something that seems to have a lot of sentimental value to it too. So we're not sure if it looks unassuming or not, but it is something that we are trying to keep an eye out for. The more people that we have for eyes out for it, the better. And if we can get this back to Mayor Ornath, he'll be able to at least relieve that stress on top of everything else that's been going on. We even asked him to set his own personal feelings aside to be able to address the town during this time of hardship because of the winds and tornadoes that pass by. But I'm sure that he's suffering inside too still a little bit. And the more help and support that we can get in finding this object for him, given everything that he's doing, and helping to keep the town strong, we want to help keep the town strong and protected too. And we'd appreciate every bit of help that we can get.
What kind of help are you asking for?
If you happen to see it or find it, we'd like to know so that we could return it back to Mayor Ornath. We're also trying to use some tools to be able to try to help find it as well. Enix, do you have one of those that we've been using?
Yeah.
How many of those do you have, Enix?
I have.
I think he's down to 2.
3 more.
Okay.
I had 4 when
3?
we started.
Oh.
And I gave one to one just fizzled over there. So now I have 2. Because I started with 10.
Okay, so it is 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of them, okay. We've been using some of these tools to help us find these things around town, but to no luck so far. And we were curious if it was all right if we could use one here.
I mean, I get what it's not gonna like blow up the camp or.
Oh, no, it's like it's like a scroll of finding kind of thing. We call it guiding bolt, but it definitely doesn't do what guiding bolt does. It's more like a finding tool.
I don't. Why do you expect that it's here? Isn't it like if it's like precious?
We're trying to search everywhere that we can.
I mean, is this like illegal? Like, what is with what authority are you doing this? I guess like we got a lot of like.
Oh, that's why we're asking your permission.
Concerns. I mean, I would hesitate to offer you permission. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm not obviously.
That's
like
understandable.
There's not a lot I can do to stop you if you decide to do it, but.
I am an Emerald Blade.
What's that?
It's a group of policy enforcers
here in the outskirts of Winds Hollow.
I tap my pauldron. We are lots of places. Also, Anton at the gate is an Emerald Blade, and we're establishing a presence.
Sure, yeah, just one minute. And he goes to the rest of the group, and he leans in toward one of the members of the group, who, if you were paying attention, you would know was Money of the tag team Money and Power. And they have a short little humana moment. He comes back and he says, Money back there says the Emerald Blades don't really have a lot of say around these parts for a while. He's grew up in town, and then there was a whole thing where the Emerald Blades recruited like most of the able bodies in the region and then got them all killed in some kind of battle. So I don't know if that's like the history you're trying to leverage to make us comply with a law that might not exist. I'm very confused.
Hey, man. I didn't have anything to do with all that.
No, I don't think you necessarily did, but I also don't necessarily think that you really have the authority to throw weight around.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm an Emerald Blade, and we have been welcomed by the mayor to help enforce this town and its policies, and so it is an official request that we let a guiding bolt go off since you are in the town. And
and if we were in the town, I would 100% agree with you, but notably we are on the bluffs outside of town. See, the town is down there, and there's like walls and gates, and we set up our stuff outside of those walls and gates specifically to avoid being interfered with, I guess, for lack of a better word. We have to kind of take care of our own a little bit. There's a whole stigma against traveling folk in general, especially when they don't have like heroic deeds and honorary titles behind their name, like, you know, adventurers or whatever. So I'm gonna have to decline.
I'll counter you with this. It would be cool if you did.
Oh, I'm sure it would be cool if I did, and if it were up to me.
And another thing. If it's not here, then what's the problem?
Oh, see, that's a very slippery slope that I don't really want to have an argument about.
I'm just saying.
As if you're not breaking any laws, why are you worried? There's a whole privacy issue there. That like.
And can you give us your word that it's not here?
Yeah, it only looks for one specific thing. So if it's not here,
can you give us your word that you'll help us in finding it?
You know what? I don't want to deal with this. So I guess do your thing. Whatever this thing is, I don't know. Like, you're sure it's not gonna like blow anything up? Like, you got here and half our horses ran off. So I don't know what kind of like curse you're carrying with you, but.
Yeah, right. The way that you guys would have dealt with it yesterday would have been dealing with 2 dead bodies. So, like, I think that, you know, there have been other problems going on.
Yeah,
so,
man, weather happens, and we...
yeah, and so do dead bodies happen. Like,
yeah.
I mean, we helped you guys out a lot, so, like, we're asking you to do something just to, like, figure another thing out.
We also helped you guys out by dealing with half of those hellhounds. So
that's the makeup for people dying? Is that the... So, like,
are you accusing us of causing weight?
No, we're trying to get this done. We're trying to get this done and get out of your hair as fast as possible.
Sure, so, like, do your thing. I don't know.
Cool, great. And then, like, I'm like, thank you. And then I look at Annex and go, floor is yours.
Who has the scroll at the moment? I do?
How many total did you have? Because you gave 2 to the dwarves.
In my notes, it said I had 4 when we started this session.
Right.
And now it says I have 3.
Is that did you have 4? Did you take the 2 off you sold to the dwarves?
Yes.
Okay.
I had 6.
That's fine. Then yes. You have 3.
if I remember correctly, I started with 10. Mm-hmm. We used like 2 of them ages ago when we learned what the guiding bolt was.
Yes. Right.
Then they had no reason to be used. And then I had 6. We sold 2 of them. Dimitri used 1. I'm about to use 1 myself, and I explained to him how this works before I use it. Like, nothing's going to explode.
Yeah.
In theory, what should happen here Well, not in theory. What will happen here is we are looking for a specific amulet that, you know, is this big, and it is going to put a glowing arrow over top of it and just automatically find it for us. The only reason that it would not work is if it just wasn't here at all, it just won't do anything. In some cases, if it is in range of the scroll, but there is something blocking it, then it will do weird stuff. It'll just kind of like appear and fizzle. So that's what to expect. No explosions. The horse thing was a bit of an anomaly, but that has nothing to do with it. So, and I used this scroll.
Sure.
And we've used this scroll in other places where we've been searching for it around town, and now we're increasing.
Yeah, once again, like the arrow like comes out of the scroll and then like fizzles. It says, all right, well, I guess that shows it's not here or what? I don't know.
Well, that means that it's somewhere within 120 feet of where I'm standing, but there's something blocking it. So, it did have. I mean, in tidying up all this stuff, did you see it? It might have gotten swept up, and there's a lot of people here.
Did that shady mayor put you up to this? Like, what? Why are you here?
Shady.
Well, what do you mean shady?
Well, I don't know. Like, DeVale has some kind of problem with that guy.
Oh no.
Good.
I mean, I did express earlier that we are. I mean, that we look at some. Yeah.
Try that again.
Yeah, it ate the whole thing. Sorry.
I did express that we were looking for something of his.
Oh no.
An amulet, something.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Mayor.
Can someone else tackle this for me?
Yeah. I wouldn't say Mayor Ornath put us up to it, but he did mention to us that he is missing this amulet, the amulet we're looking for, and we've been looking for it around town using these here guiding bolts, and it hasn't gone off once in town. It is the first time it went off. So, there were a lot of people here yesterday. There was a lot of commotion with all the wind and the tent stuff. Like, did you see it get? Did any of your team see it get put away while you were packing up?
A 4-inch amulet?
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, he like turns around and shouts to the rest of the team. He's like, "Hey, did anyone see a big 4-inch amulet when you were packing?" And they're like, "What? No. What's it like? What?" Because I guess it's made of gold or something. And I'm like, no, if we saw
some dude in the back is like, well, if we did see a 4-inch amulet, that's a big freaking necklace, so obviously we would know.
No one in camp is, at least no one is copping to having seen this. He says, I don't know what kind of, I mean, you said that this person.
Did anyone hesitate when they said that?
Make an insight check.
Because like I think like I could be like, did someone not like? Was there just like any kind of like that's gotta someone looking for like any kind of
somebody's butthole visibly clenches.
Jesus, 28.
So nobody hesitated. You do get the idea that Henny is holding back something, but he's not being straightforward.
And I mean,
this is Ornath round 2.
And I mean, this is just the way it goes with character interactions. Like,
I know. I just it's a no. It's very clear that was not. I completely get that. It's just frustrating when I just hate this carnival.
Let's just be done with it and just go back to town.
Bunch of jackasses.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk to Ornath. let's see. Maybe he has some other way of finding this damn thing that is.
Right. About that time,
Cool.
Henny.
Hey, I'll say thanks for your time, dude. I'm I'm bouncing.
All right. About that time, Henny walks over as DeVale starts riding back with the 2 horses, and they have a conversation. And DeVale comes over and he says, "An amulet."
Yeah, an amulet. It's about this big. We're looking for it. The mayor sent us out to be able to find it. He's really concerned, and it's something that's
So
really
you are
important
working for him. He did put you.
Did we say that? We didn't say any of those words.
I mean, you said
I
the
said
mayor
it.
asked us to
Yep.
do this.
I
But
am saying it.
We could have said no.
Morty, I am saying it. We live in Winds Hollow, and we are trying to continue to like help make the town's like help improve the town. You might have gone to our sandwich shop at some point, and please leave us a review if you did. But we like the mayor was very distraught, and
Leave us a review on Gulp.
right, yeah, he seemed pretty distressed about it, and we don't want to see the townspeople of Winds Hollow distressed. And we aim to help and serve. And so, yes, when the mayor asked us for help, we set on a charge to go and help. When he expressed that people were saying that things have gone missing, we went on the hunt. And when the mayor himself found something missing, well, first we asked him, like, you should have been on a higher watch at the time that people had informed you if things were going missing. But after that, we set out to help. We even asked him to set aside his personal distress about this, what appears to be a family heirloom that's really important to him, to be able to address his town of the natural disaster that, or like disaster that happened with the winds, and have injured some of the townsfolk. And as I expressed to Henny, it was clear that he was still grieving and distraught about it, and we'd love to be able to alleviate that stress for him so that he could be more himself again.
You want to help alleviate his stress. And he starts like storming off. And he says, he gets like 20 or 25 feet away, and he says, "If you're coming, come along." And he heads toward a metal wagon. That
I
is
come
built
along.
like a stagecoach, and goes to the back of it. He opens the door, and you see at the front of this metal wagon is a desk with 3 drawers, and kind of on the left side you see like a cash box and like some kind of like gems and some artifacts in like strong boxes. This is clearly like where he does payroll and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, look behind the scene.
And he says, second drawer on the right.
Second drawer on the right. I could go in there.
If it's gonna solve this problem. Second drawer on the right.
I grab Spit by the elbow, whisper in his ear, "Look for traps."
I mean, can't you get it for us? I don't want to. I cast Mage Hand and open the second drawer from the right while outside of the desk area.
Drawer opens, there's quite a bit of kind of stuff in the drawer. Can't really make out what's inside from here. There's quite a few things.
I don't want to go through stuff that I shouldn't be going through. Especially if this is meant to be a private office, can you... If you know what you're talking about, we'd love to be able to see it.
You're casting divination spells in my camp. We're a bit beyond you not going through things you're not supposed to go through.
Huh. I look around the walls and perimeter of the area as well as the desk itself. Do I perceive the existence of anything that would cause me to be in danger if I were to walk in?
Make an investigation check.
I need that webpage back up. I will use a Benny.
Okay.
18.
You don't see
the first
any...
one was a natural 1.
Yeah, you don't see any triggers for traps or anything? You don't see any, like, obvious causes of traps? Like...
Yeah. Am I the only one that... Well, I guess Coop did grab me by the shoulder. Or the elbow. Mm-hmm. Is the party with me or just Coop?
I mean, they're outside with Devale.
I will go in with you though.
Okay. I walk inside. I take a look inside that second drawer that the mage hand had opened.
Yeah. You kind of like move some stuff around.
Is there room in that cart for me too? Because this whole thing coming back here was my idea. I want to go in there too.
Kind of buried underneath like paper clips and like trinkets and things, you see a 4-inch ovular amulet made of gold. And he says, "That's not the amulet you're looking for." He says, "Top drawer."
Why did you ask me to open the second drawer then?
Top drawer.
I take a step back from the desk and allow my mage hand to open up the top drawer.
Mm-hmm. You see an identical amulet in the top drawer. And he says, "That's the amulet you're looking for." And we'll find out more next week on In the Red. Thanks everybody for hanging out and watching this week's episode of In the Red. Thanks to the players for playing along despite the wild frustration that is emanating from Jake's brow. Find us on Patreon. The $3 a month tier allows you to give these folks a Benny every month. The $15 a month tier allows you to create either a phase spirit with its own abilities and functions within the region of Bell, or an NPC such as a group of disappointed dwarves to assist or beleaguer our heroes in their adventures throughout the city-state of Bell. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check out our YouTube. Go online, initiativecoffeeco.com, where you can find coffee for sale from us. You can do that. You can support just our hardworking company with improved initiative, our medium roast or our light roast Fulgurite. Otherwise, you can pick up some Snickety Snooks partnership with Holly Conrad to support Rise Above the Disorder. Or you can pick up a bag of Metadata, the partnership we have with Jake Norman and Mini Terrain Domain to support our friends over at Jasper's Game Day. Other than that, we hope to see you on Monday as we endeavor through Adventures League Season 5 in Storm King's Thunder. Where you can give rerolls, but channel points don't work because we try to use AL rules, and that doesn't allow for the spontaneous arrival of spectral horses. Other than that, you can meet us right here 1 week from today for next week's episode of In the Red, where we can get to the bottom of this duplicate amulet mystery. Until then, have fun, play safe, play with friends, and as always, roll together. Thanks, guys.